it's not an easy decision to decide that you're walking away from the one thing and then I'm losing my train of thought here. I don't know where I'm going. Second piece of news, which is probably the bit that I'm most excited to tell you guys about. Hello. So hi, hello, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then welcome, and if you are returning, then thank you so much. So as you can tell from the title, this is a completely different video to normal. It's not a vlog, it's not a haul, it's not a Q&A. It's literally just me coming to you guys just to give you a little bit of a life update and probably chat about things that I've never chatted about before. Give you obviously some new news, which some people might know, but a lot of you won't. So yeah, I'm just gonna literally take it right back to where it all began before I kind of let you guys know what's happened, and take it back to when I first ever started my job. So when I started my job, I was 18. I'd originally applied for a degree apprenticeship and was rejected, so I didn't get on the scheme, but somebody in the interview room actually said, do you know what, if you don't want to give her a chance, I will. And thank God he did, because I ended up working at the company anyway, just as a normal kind of low-level job. And then on results day, because I actually worked there whilst I was doing my A-levels, the head of the academy just basically said, what did you get for your A-levels? I told him, and he basically said, how do you fancy moving to Gatwick in 2 weeks' time? Now, when I rang my mum, she was in bits. Obviously, she was so thrilled because I'd actually been told by teachers at school that, so when I didn't get it, I actually got told, well, I knew you wouldn't anyway. And that was great. But I felt like a lot of people didn't really have faith in me anyway. So then when I got rejected, obviously I was like, typical. And then when I actually got the job in the end, I felt that kind of like excited, amazing feeling of just like, I've actually been able to accomplish something. So long story short, obviously I moved to Gatwick, and then I did the degree apprenticeship. So basically the company that I work for paid for my degree and sponsored it. So that's obviously absolutely incredible. Like, I've got no student debt whatsoever. I got my degree paid for and I got work experience alongside. Now, I've made the bestest friends through working here. I've had the best memories, the worst memories, everything all in between. Obviously going through uni, there's quite a close group of you and you go through a lot together. But nevertheless, I've got the best memories ever through doing the scheme. And yeah, so I moved to London at 18, and this is where I've referred to it quite a lot about my money journey. This is where it went downhill. So obviously I was only on an apprenticeship salary when I first joined the company, and moving down to Gatwick, obviously I only had 2 weeks, so it was quite a little bit hectic finding somewhere to live, and I basically ran out of money very fast. I was living in debt, just getting myself more and more in debt, got into not a very nice relationship, which unfortunately just added to, whilst I was actually in Gatwick, I think I moved like 5 times, constantly downgrading to the point where I was living with like 7 other people, couldn't afford to keep my car got scrapped. It was the most embarrassing time ever. Literally a crane took my car and put it on the back of a lorry and took it away, and then I was carless for like 7 months, couldn't afford a car. Went through another bad relationship. Like, there was so much going wrong at that time, but Gatwick obviously taught me so many things about myself. But yeah, I'm only referencing this is obviously not planned, this video, and I'm just kind of referencing things because you'll start to notice kind of the story that I'm trying to tell throughout what I'm trying to tell you at the same time. So yeah, when I was down south, as I said, money was not great, and I was introduced to my first ever online business. It was amazing. Like, I'd never seen anything like this before, where you could make money online, you could promote things, you got paid, people were achieving amazing things, people were getting amazing cars, which I never ever thought that would ever be like within proximity to me. Just never ever thought that. But got introduced to this company, was with the company for about 1.5 to 2 years, and whilst I do have the best memories, obviously it introduced me to the industry that I'm still in now if you follow my journey. But I got myself more and more in debt. I was buying mass amounts of products in the hope that I'd be able to sell them. Never did. Kept buying products as soon as they came out, putting things in my overdraft, putting like team trips and conventions on. I don't even have a credit card. I've never actually had a credit card in my overdraft. And yeah, it just made the whole problem worse. But what it did do was it opened my eyes to the fact that you can have multiple streams of income, and there are opportunities out there that can help you make more money. So long story short, after 2 years in Gatwick, moved back to York. Obviously got to experience a lot of different roles within the company. Absolutely incredible, and so grateful for that. And also tried other companies as well from an online business perspective. Again, product based, it just doesn't work for me. I personally don't like pushing products, and I think because I kind of do influencing on the side, and obviously I do YouTube, like, I don't want to be that person that's constantly pushing products to people. So I stopped the second business, well, it was probably like the third business at that point, at the time, and I was just like, right, I know what I need to do. Like, I need to sort myself out. Because I'd been introduced to like companies in the past, I knew that I wanted bigger and better, and I knew that it was possible. Like, I'd started making goal boards, I'd started learning about the law of attraction, manifestation. Like, I knew that there was something out there for me, and something that was gonna change my life, because I wasn't in a very good place. And when I moved back to York, obviously York is a lot cheaper. I'd come off the apprenticeship scheme, so my salary had gone up, so things kind of started swinging this way. I'd got out of the relationships that were not very good for me, and slowly things started to go this way. And that's obviously when I bought my house. I got myself out of debt. That moment I will never ever forget. Getting myself out of debt was just the best feeling ever, because anybody that's in debt now, if you are watching this, like, you can't even see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, you literally need a big fix and like a big sum of money, and you think that you just need like to just wipe it to zero. And that's what I always thought. Like, always thought, right, I just need to wipe it to zero. I just need to save that much, and then I'll wipe it clean. And it just never works like that. But obviously got debt free, bought my house at 22, which I'm so grateful for. And just as I was moving house, and just as I'd bought my house, I had been approached about another online business, which is the business that I'm partnered with now. And honestly, you know when people say like, you find your home, I really did find the online business for me. It's in the travel industry, which right now, I'm saying this if you are watching this back in the middle of a global pandemic, but we're still killing it. Like, it's crazy. But travel has my heart. I just got back from Bali the year before. No, that year I just got back from Bali. And since joining the business, obviously I've travelled to the most amazing places. They paid for me and my mum to stay in Vegas, in a suite in the Venetian. Like, I've got to see so many amazing places. But that's not the moral of this story. The moral of this story is that I found a business that worked for me, and from the moment I walked into that business, I just had success. I was so passionate about it. I can sing it from the rooftops. Like, I wasn't scared because I wasn't pushing products. Like, I was showing people how to travel smarter, and it just worked for me. And it started getting to a stage where I noticed that my income was really kind of quickly matching my salary, which, you know, it's not a small salary that I'm on right now. You know, I do work for a really well-known, kind of well-thought-of company, and yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is it wasn't like matching a part-time, like, £5 an hour kind of job. It was matching like my salary. And as it started getting closer and closer, I thought, oh my gosh, maybe one day I could be that person that like does this full time and gets to go on like brunch dates all the time. And you know when your mind starts going and you start getting excited. And then lockdown happened. So in lockdown, I think a lot of people experience lockdown in so many different ways. Some people hated it, some people loved it, some people went through a roller coaster like I did. I hated it. I hated not seeing my friends. I hated not seeing my family. At the beginning, I was resentful of it. I was fearful. I was scared. I was anxious. I live on my own, so I felt like, oh my god, I'm literally on my own. But I promised myself that I was not gonna let lockdown like break me from a mental health perspective. When I referred back to when I was in debt and when I wasn't in, you know, great relationships, and when things were really terrible, like I do mean they were really terrible. My mental health was awful at the time. I was so dependent on boys. I jumped from relationship to relationship. It just, everything just wasn't good. I always thought that something was going to make me happy. If I got in a relationship, it was going to make me happy. If I got that amount of money, it was going to make me happy. And lockdown really allowed me to reflect. I really took a step back and I reflected on what I've actually achieved, and I'm not afraid to talk about it, because where I was 3 years ago versus where I am now, it's two different people. And I wish that I could walk over to the old me and just give her a little shake or a hug and just say, girl, like, you're gonna get there at some point. Like, you're gonna change your story. Like, you're gonna change your story. You're gonna rewrite it. Like, it's gonna have like a different ending. And then I'm losing my train of thought here. I don't know where I'm going. But in lockdown, I really just started hammering social media a little bit more, and I fell in love with Instagram and YouTube, and I was uploading more YouTube videos, and I was really falling in love with posting, and the brand collabs that I was getting, I honestly, like, my mouth fell through the floor. Like when Pretty Little Thing reached out, when Missguided reached out, like In The Style, Ego, like massive brands that I never ever thought would want to work with me started reaching out, and I had that moment of like, is this my breakthrough moment? Is this my like real time just to like have success and be that successful person that's always been on my goal boards, always been on my vision boards? I've always looked up to influencers and people that have really kind of lived life on their terms. And so within lockdown, I made a decision in the end of June. I think the only person that knew at the time was Grace. And then in July, this is where the news comes. I actually handed my notice in at the company that I work for, basically to take everything that I love full time. And when I say I'm quitting my job to pursue my dreams, I really mean that. As cringy as it sounds, I feel like I've got a big purpose in life that I'm maybe not utilising. And I'm not talking about the influencing side on Instagram of like outfits and stuff. That's just something that I enjoy. That's a hobby that just so happens to pay a little bit. But YouTube, the value that you can give through platforms like this, through the travel business, the value that I feel like I deliver to my team, and showing them that things are really possible and that you can rewrite your story. Like, I just felt like it was my time, it was my calling. And this is going to sound so cringy, like I hope you guys are not cringing right now. But yeah, basically the news is that I've quit my corporate job after 5.5 years to take everything that I love full time. So I'm now self-employed. I'm now obviously doing the travel business full time, and then doing like influencing bits alongside. And what I do want to say is, it's not an easy decision to decide that you're walking away from the one thing that everyone's kind of proud of you for doing. I feel like online businesses have such a stereotype with them. I feel like influencing does, I feel like YouTube does, and people don't quite get why you would want to leave, you know, like a really good corporate job to kind of take these things full time. And it made me so nervous. I actually made the decision back in July, and I'd had the conversations at work, and they were absolutely amazing. Obviously they didn't want me to go, and they did obviously try to keep me, but everyone, when I did say, look, this is my dream, this is something that I want to pursue, and if I don't try it now, then I'm gonna kick myself. And everyone's been so supportive. But it did take me a while to tell family and friends, because I was so nervous of what people would think. Especially, you know, parents who, like, you've landed a good job. Like, I literally had landed a good job. That's what we're meant to do, isn't it? Like, we're meant to go to uni, we're meant to get a good job, we're meant to climb the ladder, we're meant to have that kind of success story. Like, that's normal, that's what success is to a lot of people. And, you know, I got really nervous. I got really anxious of telling my family and telling my friends, and just like telling people at work that what I was going to do. And everyone has been so supportive. It's incredible. I know that naturally like parents worry and, you know, they want to make sure that you've got enough money and that everything's sustainable and, you know, things like that, but this is honestly been a long time coming, I would say. I've wanted to do this for so long. It's been on my goal board to be my own boss, to live life on my terms, to show other people that it's completely possible if you want to achieve X, Y, and Z, that you absolutely can. So that's the first little bit of news. So obviously I have quit my job. I'm currently just in my notice period. I extended it by 2 months just to do part-time. So at the moment I'm working 3 days a week. Next month I'm working 2 days a week, and I'll officially be leaving on the 30th of November, which is when my full-time self-employed will kick in. Luckily I've obviously had to keep tax and do my books and register self-employed way back when I first ever started earning money from online businesses. So I do know that side, which is good, and all it is that obviously just things with tax just change as you kind of lose a salary. So yeah, that is the first little bit of news, and I'm just so grateful for everything. If it wasn't for the income that the travel business has provided me, then this wouldn't be possible. Fact. I do obviously earn now from YouTube and through posts and things like that and collabs, but it's nowhere near enough from a sustainability perspective, obviously, for me to be able to walk away from a salary, because you can't always guarantee when jobs are going to come, you can't always guarantee when paid posts versus gifted is going to happen and that kind of thing. And obviously I can't predict who watches my videos and who watches ads and things like that. But yeah, and I'm just so grateful for you guys. So anyone that's watching this right now, I think I'm sat with 1,380 subscribers, and the reason I'm documenting numbers like this is because I want to watch this back. Like, this is a time capsule for me to look back and just remind myself of where I've come, and just obviously the fact that it's somewhere where I can see it. I just kind of want to document it. But anyway, to the 1,380 subscribers that I've got currently, I just want to say thank you so much for supporting me on this journey, for engaging with my content, for the 14,100 and however many on Instagram. I just want to say thank you so much for supporting me, because genuinely without people engaging with my photos, without you guys watching my stories, liking my posts, watching my videos, like that, even that small income, which is small right now, but who knows, that wouldn't be possible without you guys engaging. And hopefully, you know, you do think that I provide value and content and things that you want to see. So I just want to say a massive thank you. Second piece of news, which is probably the bit that I'm most excited to tell you guys about, is I'm actually launching a new little venture called the Breakthrough Society. I'll pop it on screen. I'll pop the Instagram on screen as well. So if you do want to give it a follow, it's at the Breakthrough Society. And it's essentially a new page that I've made where I'm gonna really dive into the law of attraction, manifestation, motivation, self-belief, just really encouraging ambitious people to achieve what they want to achieve. I know that it's possible, and to help people break down limiting beliefs. I had so many. I thought money was the worst thing in the world, that it only brought unhappiness, that you were greedy if you wanted money. Like, I had so many misconceptions with so many topics, and I really want to help people break down those limiting beliefs and really understand that you can achieve whatever you want in life, and hopefully provide you guys some useful tips. But I really do just want to kind of dive into the things that are close to my heart, such as topics like going against the grain. You know, what I'm about to do right now, leaving obviously something that society would tell you is the right thing to do something that society doesn't quite yet understand. Topics like that, topics about self-love, my morning routine, morning rituals, spirituality, all of that kind of stuff, but also a little sprinkle of motivation as well, because I know that I'm such a big kind of like manifester, and I believe in spirituality and the laws of the universe. I'm 100% the biggest believer in that. However, I do know without action things can't move forward, things can't happen. So I want it to have a little bit of kind of action in there, a little bit of motivation as well. So on the page it basically says, right now, made for goal-getters, equipping ambitious females to live life like a boss and step into their highest, truest potential. And that's exactly what I want to do. I really want to encourage people. I want it to be a feel-good page. I'm hoping that maybe in the future I might be able to launch tools and resources for people. But right now it's just a page where hopefully I can share my value and you guys can benefit from it. It will take a little bit of a turn as well on YouTube. So I will be launching a series all about the law of attraction, my journey with the law of attraction, my journey with manifestation, breaking limiting beliefs, my morning routine, my favourite books, podcasts, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to be covering it a little bit more on YouTube as well. So I will be doing a series. I'm going to brand all of the thumbnails a little bit different and obviously do like part 1, part 2, so you guys can kind of follow it. I will still be uploading normal content because your girl loves to shop. Your girl loves, you know, normal things like Q&As and say it or shot it, challenges, you name it. I'm saying say it or shot it, I've never even done one. But I love that side of YouTube. I love the fun, let loose kind of side of it. So that's not going to stop, but I am just going to be introducing some more content to hopefully inspire you guys, because if it wasn't for me surrounding myself with amazing thought leaders in the industry, amazing mentors in businesses and in life, you know, I pay for courses, so a lot of it will be things that I've really invested from an education perspective. It'll be knowledge from books that I've learned that I can hopefully share with you guys. But if it wasn't for all of those resources, I wouldn't genuinely be here right now. I wouldn't have believed in myself. I would have stayed in toxic relationships. I wouldn't have understood self-worth. I wouldn't have been okay being single. Like, that just wasn't me. I was not okay being on my own. I was not okay being independent. I was never self-sufficient as a person, and I really think I've rewritten that story, and hopefully you guys trust that I can at least help you a little bit, or I can at least just provide you guys with some knowledge or some fun and just even activities just to make you guys feel a little bit more inspired and hopefully believe in yourself and your goals as well. So I'll leave the handle on screen for the Breakthrough Society, but it's all around having that breakthrough moment and breaking through the barriers that you might have, breaking through the negative beliefs that you might have. So yeah, I hope you guys are as excited as I am, and I can't wait to go on the next chapter, hopefully together, on YouTube, within the Breakthrough Society, on my Instagram. I'll leave any information about anything that I've discussed below. But I love you all so much. Thank you so much for your support, and yeah, it's out in the open now that your gal has quit her job. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.